Hey everyone, it's Jessica with another layout for the Therm Web Design team, and today I am focusing on the new toner sheets that were released by Deco Foil, and I am going to be using these two that I've pulled out here, and I've already matted my photo with some smooth white cardstock, and these two toner sheets kind of look to me like a map design, or like the one on the left almost looks like a wood grain. So I've pulled both of them out, and I am just adding some distress inks and oxides to them. Actually, I think these are both inks. So I have pulled out a couple different colors, and I'm just using my blending tool to adhere the ink to those just to kind of create like an ombre effect. And I'm not doing this too particular about how this is applied because I'm actually going to use some dies on my manual die cutting machine, and I'm going to cut them up into little pieces anyways and do a hexagon layout today. So I'm just basically getting my colors on here just to kind of create an ombre effect in the two different colors on both of them, and then I am just flicking on some water and dabbing that up just to create those white kind of marbled splotches onto it. And then I'm going to pull out some of the crafting carrier sheets and sandwich some Deco foil in between that. I think I used bronze for this one, and I'm just going to put some foil down on these toner sheets just to create a nice shimmery effect on them. So you can see that they shimmer and they have that foil applied to it after I've ran it through my hot laminator. And then I'm going to start working on my layout. So there's my photo that I'm going to use today. I'm going to cut out a whole bunch of little hexagons in one of my collections that I have here. I think this one's by Echo Park. And I'm going to cut out a whole bunch of these little hexies so you can see them all there on the right. I ran them all through my manual die cutting machine, backing my photo now with one of the patterns from the collection as well. And I have also cut out a bunch of those little hexagons with those toner sheets. So I'm going to just place them all around my layout. I'm going to pop up a few showcasing the adhesive foam that we have. I'm going to use the jumbo tape roll and just pop a few up here and there. And then I'm going to just glue down the other ones using my little tape runner that I have there. So here's one of the jumbo tape rolls. I absolutely love that they're huge and they have so much tape on them, so it really does last a long time. And all you do is just cut off the section that you need and then just apply and pull off the backing. So super easy to use, and of course my tape runner is super easy to use. I love these tape runners. They're small and easy to hold in your hand, and they're super easy to replace whenever you run out. I was really surprised the first time that I changed it, actually how easy it was to replace the refill in it. It literally just pops apart in half, the pink part, and then you just insert the new roll and close it back up. It is literally that easy, and I was so surprised how easy because I don't know about you, but I sometimes struggle with my tape runners and tape guns and like how to actually refill them, and I find some of them are a little bit difficult for me. So this one is actually the easiest that I've ever found to replace, so that is a definite game changer in my book. So here, as you can see, I'm just adhering down the rest of my little hexies. I'm kind of keeping them at a vertical design, and then I'm going to trim off the excess of the ones that are running off my paper. My little guy here is coming in on the right as he wants a yogurt opened up, so excuse me for that for one moment. And yeah, I'm just kind of placing them all around my page, kind of scattering them about, making sure my colors are mixed up. I'm making sure that I'm kind of filtering in some of those toner sheet ones that I made, because those are my favorite ones and they match the collection perfectly. I made sure that I picked out coordinating ink colors to go with the collection that I'm using, and I'm just going to kind of just keep scattering them around. I'm not putting any behind my photo because you're not going to see that anyways. That one there, I'm just kind of lining up just to make sure it's in the right place for me. Wasn't sure how many or how far I was going to go with that, but I decided to not go too far past my photo and just kind of focus on the right hand side of my page in that vertical type of design. And I love that little thing that I cut out of one of the papers, so I might throw that on here somewhere. And I'm just kind of staggering these and just making sure that all my colors are mixed up, and I pull in some of the red with that camp, and I end up actually making that my title. That's not something that I intended to do with this layout. I was actually going to use some alphas and put a title on here, but I really liked that little red hexagon that I cut out of one of the It was actually a sheet of paper from this collection that had a whole bunch of squares, and they were just different designs on a bunch of squares, and I just cut one down into that hexagon shape. So here I'm just going to trim off the excess using my scissors. So it's super easy. I like to trim them off from the back so I can see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to flip it back over. I'm going to put my photo down here in a second. This one I'm kind of twiddling with a little bit. It wasn't the right orientation after I trimmed it off, so I ended up using a different one because I just couldn't stand that the plaid design wasn't the same as all the other ones, so I didn't end up using that one. So here I'm just kind of trying to decide how far over to the left that I wanted to go with it, and I ended up just kind of not really going much further than what you see here, because here I'm kind of staggering them, seeing if I want to fill up the rest of the page, but I decided against it. I really just liked all the hexagons kind of focused around my photo and kind of top to bottom, so I just kind of left that how it was. Here I'm just using a bunch of this foam tape from the roll to pop up my photo with. This is actually the 1/8 size, and then the hexagons I use the 1/16 size, I believe. So two different sizes, they're different thicknesses. And then here are the little alphas that I pulled out. I was going to make my whole title with this, but then I just decided to add just to this one because I feel like this is where we camp, so I wanted it to say our camp, and I just thought that was just perfect. Then I liked that little knapsack, so I really liked putting it right there by my title. And then this cute little sticker that's already in a hexagon shape. It's a little bit smaller than my other ones, but I didn't mind. I thought it looked kind of cool that it was a little bit smaller. And then same with this one, I'm kind of just playing with it, trying to see where I wanted to put it in the layout. I don't think I end up using that one in the end, but I save it for something else. And then I'm just going to pull out some of my stamps here. These are some of the coordinating stamps that go with this collection and some of their other ones. They're by Echo Park as well. Sometimes whenever my stamps are new, I like to just rub them on my hand just to get some oils from my hand onto the stamp, because then I find it doesn't stick to my stamp pad. So that's why I do that. And then you'll see me stamping on that white paper first a couple of times just to make sure I have a clear impression, and it's gonna cover up my whole entire stamp. And then I stamp onto my layout. And I do like to use that foam behind my paper as well, because I find that it does stamp a little bit nicer if I have that foam behind there. I've also used phone books too, you know, like the old phone books we used to get in the mail. I've used those before too, our own old magazine. So just adding some little stars now. I'm using some black Archival ink for this because I like how crisp that stamps, and I know that it's going to get a good impression for me. And then I'm just going to kind of see what else I have that'll go with this layout. I don't want to add too much to it, but I really like these little sticker sheets that I have. So I'm trying to pull a few things off that have red in it to pull in some more red to this layout. And my title was popped up quite a bit from my photo, so I added a little bit of foam onto the tail ends of that just so that they popped up and matched the dimension and depth of my photo since it was popped. And then I love that little lantern and cup, so I'm going to add those in, but I end up moving that cup. I thought it kind of looked a little funny that there was a gap in between the two, so I end up moving the cup somewhere else. And then I'm just adding a little wordy bit that says "Roughin' It," and just kind of pulling off little things. I love this little chair and these little stars, so I add those up there, and it again pulls in a little bit more red, which is what I wanted on this layout. And then just adding in my date stamp. That's the date stamp, the roller one by Paige Evans. And then I really like all these little star stickers in this collection, so I'm just pulling off all the red ones, and I'm going to use all those on my layout. So I've used quite a bit of this sticker sheet. I should just cut it apart and kind of just put them in with my die cuts at this point, because there's really not much left on it. So here you see me fiddling with this cup. I'm kind of trying to find a home for it here on my layout. I really like it, so I moved it down to the bottom, and then just adding some black splatters with some black Heidi Swapp color shine. So here's a little doodling around my title. I wanted to bring in some more interest to it, and then here's the finished layout. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you have any questions at all, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer. So thank you so much for watching today, and have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.